I've been working over the last couple of months on behalf of both TNA and RLUK to research and produce a guide to support collaboration between the archive and HE sectors. So why was this guide being produced? Well, we've heard throughout the 2 days about some of the drivers for collaboration, and there is much to be said for collaborative working as a means of opening up opportunities, for enabling individual organisations to achieve things that they wouldn't be able to do on their own. And of course, there's the mantra that I'm sure will have been repeated in many of the sessions, that by working together, we can actually be stronger and perhaps build resilience into individual and separate organisations. And I hope too, picking up on what was mentioned in that flash survey just now, that collaboration can sometimes also provide opportunities that aren't possible from within the resources of individual organisations. So although there is that time investment, of course, that they can be looked on in that sort of positive frame of mind as well. So this guide is not so much a how-to-do-it document as a collection of experience from people who have worked on collaborative initiatives together and who have very kindly shared that experience, together with an exploration of some of the potential barriers and things to think about when embarking on collaborative work. This is the approach that I've taken. I've been looking at lots of background material, including sort of last year's conference and research reports that have been carried out, and similar initiatives. Some of you may have heard of the Share Academy's work in the first session on the first day, which of course has parallels with this sort of guidance note and piece of work. And people have been extremely generous in sharing their experience and ideas with me. We've done interviews, focus groups, there's been form filling, there's been a wiki, a little underused, I have to say, and participation in the project's advisory group. And as I've mentioned, it's not really how to, but it's more gathering together all of your experience. So there's a section on benefits to both parties of collaboration, together with examples of what those might be. There are examples of the different types of collaboration that can take place. So hopefully that will reflect the scale and range of activities that many of you are involved in or might like to think about starting on. There's an exploration of some of the issues and barriers that might crop up, again as thinking points really, and hopefully trying to be sort of reasonably helpful in how you might work around some of those barriers, or some of the things that you might like to think about that might help them not be barriers. There will then be a section on how collaborations can be embedded within organisations where that is wanted. Of course, much collaborative work takes place on a project basis, but there are ideas about where you can embed that into organisations if you want to, and about sustainability issues as well. And then discussion and examples of how collaborative working can perhaps develop. And I'm using something called the collaboration Continuum as a sort of framework there, and some of you might be familiar with that. It's a sort of idea that came out of OCLC about sort of 5 or 6 years ago, and it just talks about sort of different stages in a collaborative relationship between organisations, and I thought that might be quite a useful hook to put some of the examples of the work that you do around. Then there will be a section on measuring and sort of reporting and promoting activities, and also a sort of resources area for explanation of key terms and concepts